But let's just get your raw reaction, Ewok. You've had good 5 days or so to think about it at this point. Yeah, let's just hear. What was your overall thoughts of the film?
The first thing I thought was I didn't see a lot of characters that I thought we were originally going to see. In the first couple trailers, there was people like Nerd Girl and Crypty Girl and some of the other, ladies of HEX. Really,
You
none
just
of
want to
those.
see the ladies.
Hey, the ladies look good on the big screen. So
yeah, they do.
But they weren't in the movie. I felt like it kind of became the RG3 show. I feel
I've
like
heard that a few times.
he had as much time as Richard. Not that I don't like RG3, and he does have a good story. He's a blue collar guy, worked his ass off, made something of himself, and then ended up bringing Mikey, his buddy, into the fold, who invested a good bit of money at the top, 41 cents or something like that. So then it goes into the story of him and his wife was totally against it as much. I should have stated before I started this that if you don't want any spoilers, you should probably not watch, but
yeah, that should be self-evident. Yeah.
But yeah, so it kind of became that. And then Richard in the background with the two main characters that were the anti FUD people, the scam, the scam searcher and the guy from the university, who I like both of those guys. They've made a nice little appearance on Twitter. They're quite personable. They're still learning, actively engaging with our community. It's pretty cool to see that. But overall, the movie for me, I feel like the longer you've been in HEX, the less you got out of the movie. It wasn't really meant for us. It wasn't meant for the people that are already pro HEX, that are already in, eyes up to our eyes in it and know pretty much everything about it. So it was designed for the no coiners. And I've heard a lot of people that say, they were on the fence before, that have seen it. Now they're really looking into it and doing their homework, which is good. It wasn't designed for us at all. The storyboard was good. It flowed well. The music, the score was amazing. It just added that extra level to it. So it was very well done. Very well done. But for me personally, it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for the true Hexicans that are, like I said, already way invested. Not meant for us. It's meant for the people that just aren't sure. And it really does make you want to go out and do research. I really think that the people that weren't sure before that went in to see it will come out, do their work, do their research, and potentially join the community. So that's my overall take anyway. And yeah, it was, like I said, very well done. Very well done.
I think that is what a lot of people have said, and I think that is a great thing. I think that anybody that maybe is entrenched in the community and has been involved in this ecosystem for a long time, thinking that they were going to get a movie that was designed for them or whatever, well, it probably wouldn't be an entertaining movie at that point. You know what I mean? Because we would all choose to just watch, like I was just sitting here watching Crispy Man stream on his own earlier about ETH gas fees. You know what I mean? That's what we think is entertaining. So that's not going to sell out movie theaters or anything. But I want to, well, no offense to you, Crispy Man, but I want to say real quick to echo what you just said, though, Ewok. So Pulse Orca, who I've seen some of his tweets before, shared the same sentiment you did. I've seen this from a few people. He said, I took a crypto curious friend who knows nothing about HEX or RH to the documentary with me. He has a wife, 3 young children, and a corporate job that he hates. I would like to see him win in the next bull cycle. Asked him to send me his thoughts about the film. He said the documentary was intriguing and left me with mixed emotions on if I would invest in HEX. The overall crypto world seems like a gamble, but when Richard compared cryptocurrency investing to a 401k, it made sense. When the guy who runs the crypto ranking site, Nomics, that would be reluctantly stated that HEX was not a scam and that he invested in it, gave me a sense of relief, only to turn around and question the back-end HEX accounts. In the near future, I will invest in HEX, he says. Yet this documentary did not give me the enthusiasm to go all in, but I'm intrigued enough to not want to miss out.
Right.
Which I think is, yeah, I was going to say that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He said, P.S. Richard Hart is a brilliant man, but he's not God. Upon my investment, I will not identify as a hexagon. I totally understand that point of view too, and I'm always reluctant to ever do that myself. I mean, you know, somebody I was watching in the last couple of days, probably Matty Allen and all those guys last night. The cult aspect of it, you know, I don't even care if that's it's really a positive thing if you want to find out what bandwagon to get on at crypto, quite frankly. But you don't have to be a quote unquote hexagon. You know, you don't have to act in the same ways that everybody else does and stuff. And I know there are things that people are going to think are cringy, but that's also not everybody in the space. I mean, there are plenty of people in the space. The number one person that always comes to my mind is Gary funding Jim, that are, you know, professional, long-term finance people that have been around the block. And I think as this ecosystem develops with like an L1 and a DEX and all this stuff now this film's out and all these big influencers talking about HEX, I think you'll see the diversity in that direction of this ecosystem. What do you think about that?
Well, so another thing that pops up is the cult mentality, and that is also talked about quite a bit in the, you know, in the film. And when people say I don't want to be associated or you know, referred to as a hexagon, I think that's why they're afraid. They're afraid they don't want to become part of the cult, you know. So, you know, there's that. And I think the dude from Nami's Clay also said, to answer one of his questions, the final, you know, they asked him a couple questions, kind of like, you know, speed round questions. You know, is Hex a scam? No. Is Richard a scammer? And he said no. Is Hex a cult? Yes, that was his answer. Yes. So I think that's part of the reason why people have that mentality toward it. You know, they just don't want to be affiliated with a cult or whatever it may be. And, you know, while some of the things that happen in this community are cult like, you know, I look at it as more of a we're so powerful about what we have. You know, people are just fanatics, and there are so many intelligent people in this community that make it, you know, provable. I guess it's, you know, I'm trying to find the words to say how I want to say it, but you know, it's provable that what we're doing here is not a scam. I mean, clearly everything's done. It's a finished product. There is no scam. We do have to trust Richard, right? We do have to trust, or the OA, I should say. But the OA was designed to be able to fluctuate the APY. That's why it's there, for no other reason. So, you know, that is the trust part of this trustless system, if you want to say it that way. But yeah, there's just, like I said, you know, the community comes off as cultish, but you know, we're all in this pretty deep. So, you know, they stand by their convicted, you know, on the products that we have, and rightfully so.